Hey everybody, I'm Chef Tom with allthingsbbq.com, and this is Smoked Chocolate Ganache Truffles. Well, we've got a sweet treat for you guys today. We're making chocolate truffles, and the grill is still going to be involved. We're doing a really cool technique that we don't get to do very often around here, and that's cold smoking. The same technique we'd use to cold smoke our cheese, we're gonna apply it to our chocolate today. So let's jump right in. All right, so we're gonna be using the Yoder Smokers YS640S today, but the way we're utilizing it, we're gonna turn it on, but we're not going to hit the start button to start the grill up. Instead, we're just gonna let those fans run. The unique thing about the Yoder pellet grills is that when you flip them on, it activates the fans, but it doesn't fire up the grill, and that allows us to do this cold smoking technique. So here's the setup. On the second shelf here, we're gonna have our frog mat, and this is going to allow us to spread out our chocolate chips without them falling through, without them just sticking to anything. And then we get full smoke coming through the bottom to the top, all the way around it. So I'm gonna do a few ounces here, 6 ounces each, I believe, of our dark chocolate and then semi-sweet chocolate, so 2 different types. Now for the source of our smoke, we're gonna be using the Amazing tube smoker. So this is just a perforated tube, fill it up with pellets, light it. Once it blows out, it's just burning back slowly, producing that smoke. And it doesn't get super hot, so it allows you to do that cold smoking process. We're gonna go for about 2.5 hours. That's gonna be plenty of pellets to get it done. So we're just gonna slide this tube in on the main cooking grate on the left side here and light it up. So we're just gonna close this thing up and let the fans do their work, taking the air from the left side of the grill, pushing it out the stack here, and now we've got this constant air movement, constant smoke movement, so that we're not gonna get stagnant, gross smoke on our food. Well, we've given the chocolate a good 2.5 hours to soak up that smoke, so we're ready to pull it off. All right, so we're just gonna scoop these right into bowls. So this will add a nice subtle smokiness to our ganache. So now we've got our cold smoked chocolate. What we're gonna do is we're gonna turn that into a ganache, and that's really the substance of these truffles. So we wanna take our 10 ounces of heavy cream and bring that just barely up to a simmer. Now while we wait on the cream, we're gonna combine 3 ounces of our smoked semi-sweet chocolate, 3 ounces of our dark chocolate, and we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. All right, now as soon as this comes up to a simmer, we're gonna pour it right over the top of our chocolate and our butter. And I'll typically let that kind of just sit there and warm everything through for a minute or 2 before I start whisking. But what we're gonna do here is just whisk this until it comes together. And get rid of all of the lumps. You'll see it thicken up. Make sure all of our chocolate and butter is fully melted. And we've got a nice smooth ganache. Now before we can form this into our truffles, we need it to fully cool down, so I'm gonna throw it into the fridge. Well, the ganache is chilled and solidified, so now we're ready to form them into the truffles. So you can see how firm this is now, so what I'm gonna do is just take my tablespoon and scoop some of that up. We'll work that right out of here, and then we're just gonna roll it into a ball. So we're making these just little bite-sized truffle balls. And the least amount of handling possible is ideal because this is going to melt. But if we can get them into this rough shape for now, that's all we need, then we can chill them back down before we finish these off. All right, so like I said, they don't need to look perfect right now because as they firm up again in the fridge, we can once again roll them to smooth them out. And then we're gonna finish off with our different flavor options. Now, one of the flavors that I wanna do today with these truffles is a s'mores truffle. So right now, before we chill these down, I'm gonna take a handful of these and stuff a marshmallow inside. So let's take a few of these. I'm gonna pick up a mini marshmallow, stuff it right there inside, and close it up. Do a quick little roll, and that's it. Now there's a number of ways to finish off your truffles. You could do something as simple as rolling them in a cocoa powder or a powdered sugar, or my personal favorite, which is chocolate dipped with a little salt on top. And we're gonna get to that one, but I'm also gonna show you a few other ways to finish these off. So the first one we'll do is the s'mores, since we already talked about that one. I'm just gonna warm this slightly in my hand, and then we're gonna roll it around in our graham crackers, and then we have our s'mores truffle. Marshmallow stuffed, graham crackers on the outside. So the next one we're gonna do is kind of salty and sweet. We've got some honey roasted peanuts that I've blitzed up. I'm also going to add some of our smoked turbinado sugar and a little bit of our smoked hickory salt. So you get that peanut sweet and salty thing going on, which is one of my favorite flavor profiles for sweet stuff. And it's the exact same thing. We're just warming them in the hands a little bit, getting that shape just right on the outside, and then get them fully coated. So now we can see those little flecks of the salt in there with the peanuts. So the great thing about this is there's just endless possibilities about what you can do to finish off your truffles, and it's a really fun activity to do with the family. I'm gonna show you two more of my favorites. So here's an option you might not think of off the top of your head, and that's using a barbecue or steak rub. In this case, we're using the smoky chipotle, which is a coffee steak rub. So this smoky chipotle, not only does it have the coffee in there, it's got the turbinado sugar, which matches, and it's got a bit of smoky spiciness to it from the chipotle. Now this last one is my favorite, and that's the chocolate coated. So I've taken our smoked chocolate and I've just melted it down in the microwave. And we're gonna drop our truffle right in there, fully coat it, and pull it right back out. And what you can do while that chocolate's still melted is just add a little bit of salt on top. And this is the Jacobsen habanero infused salt. So you're gonna have a little bit of spicy kick to it. Now this time, instead of our habanero infused salt, I'll just do a little bit of our plain kosher sea salt. All right, now I just want to give the chocolate dipped ones a couple minutes in the fridge, and then we'll have a taste. Great crunch. I love the way that cracks apart. Man, that ganache inside, so rich and creamy. The smokiness is subtle, for sure. And that's probably the way we want it. And man, just that touch of salt on the outside. There's something about sweet and salty, and for me, just a little bit of spicy. Look, I don't care much about sweets, but this I'll wait for. Chocolate gets me every time, man. Let's do one of these smoky chipotle coffee crusted ones. Man. Great soft texture. Just start to the flavors are all building. Coffee and chocolate, fantastic. There's some heat that's creeping up behind it. Just the right amount of saltiness, and it's sweet. This one seems strange, but it's a winner. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check out allthingsbbq.com for all the products featured in today's video. If you enjoyed the recipe, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any questions or comments, or there's anything you'd like to see me cook, let me know in the comment section down below, and let's be good to one another. For more recipes, tips, and techniques, head over to allthingsbbq.com/thesauce. All things barbecue, where barbecue legends are made.